ONE-OS three-way floor valve. Here we have an oven set up for testing. We have removed the three-way valve and disassembled it. This motor actuator is still wired to the oven for demonstration purposes. The way the wiring code works is positions 1 and 2, indicated 1 and 2, and positions 1 and 2. These are the positive and negative feeds to the motor. These will swap polarity to turn the motor in different directions. Position 3 has no connection. Position 4 is a constant feed plus 24 volt DC. Positions 5 and 6. These switch to the computer. When the valve reaches either of its limits, it will signal from position 5 or position 6, reading the plus 24 volt and completing the circuit. This will show up in diagnostics and also illuminate an LED on the I/O board. All of the logic for the motor actuator is controlled by the computer. We will now access diagnostics and watch this happen. Tap on settings, tap on diagnostics. In the bottom right hand side of the computer screen, we have the floor valve section. Tap on dump. We can see now that it has moved to the two-fat separator position. We can also see that beside dump we have 23.8 volts. This is indicating that it has reached the position. And at the back of the oven on the I/O board, we can see that this LED light here is illuminated. This is showing us that the circuit has been completed and that the dump position has been reached on the motor actuator valve. We will now tap on drain. We can see that the position has been reached and 23.8 volts has been reached in the drain position. We will now go and look at the LED on the computer board. We can see that the LED has been lit up here, which indicates the circuit has been completed and the valve has reached its position. If we remove the position indicator disc, we can see the cams that trigger these micro switches that tell the computer to what position the valve is in. I will now press dump on the computer screen so that we can see these cams come around and trigger these two micro switches here. That will give us the two-fat separator position. Remembering that the valve is mounted upside down as we see here, we have moved the valve to the two-fat separator position. So if I poke a screwdriver through here, we can see that it is ported to the right hand side. I will now press drain on the screen. That will move the valve from to fat separator around to drain. As this rotates around, we will see the cams come and trigger these two micro switches here. We can now see that we have 23.8 volts next to drain. And the to drain position should drain off to the right hand side, remembering that the valve is upside down as we see it here. We will now tap on the closed position. The closed position is timed between to drain and to fat separator. The computer controls this and neither cams operate any switches when it moves to this position. As we can see, both of the cams are opposite the micro switches. And we can see that the center port of the valve is completely closed.